This is Back Roads of Illinois server to farmers and ranchers in central Illinois and the Midwest on KSIR in Fort Morgan, Colorado. I am Cesar Delgado. Almost here is the Farm Progress Show in Boone, Iowa for this year on September. We are talking with Matt Jungmann on national events for farm progress. The LaSalle County Cruises will be hosting the car show in Ottawa on August 1st at the lower lot in Ottawa, Illinois, north of the Illinois River. This is Back Roads of Illinois server to farmers and ranchers in central Illinois and the Midwest on KSIR in Fort Morgan, Colorado. Almost here is the Farm Progress Show in Boone, Iowa for this year on September. We are talking with Matt Jungmann on national events for farm progress. Hey Matt, how are you in Warren County?
Very good. Everything here in Warren County is in pretty good shape. We got a good break in April to get the beans in and some of the corn, and then we got another one in early May. And everything is up and running. There's drones and airplanes and helicopters flying around right now, putting fungicide on everything, but we don't have as much disease as we did a year ago at this time. So everything looks pretty good. I think some early cold and some early heavy rains probably took the top end, the very top end of things off, but everything looks to be average to above average around here. And then in the two other corn crops that I care about, the one in Boone, Iowa, and the one in Grand Island, Nebraska, both of them are in good shape. Farm Progress Show field demo corn. We partner with John Deere to get that corn planted. They got it all in about a day and a half with a high-speed 24-row planter. April 20th and 21st. And the soil conditions were incredible for that. It's lived a pretty good life. There have been a lot of heavy rains in central Iowa, two big rain events, and where in Ankeny neighborhood they got 6-8 inches of rain, we got an inch and a half out of that. And then here a couple days ago, some big rains in central Iowa, we got 2.1 out of that. So living pretty good there. The field demo corn looks incredible. And then Grand Island, they were really, really dry at planting, like hard to get it planted into moisture. Had to fire the pivots to get it out of the ground, but then a few rains started coming, and things are in really, really good shape at Husker Harvest Days for the field demonstrations. Farm Progress Show is September 1st, 2nd, and 3rd. It's still the Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday before Labor Day, but Labor Day is as late as it gets this year. So same dates, just a little bit unique to be September 1, 2, 3. And then Husker Harvest Days is September 15, 16, 17, west of Grand Island, Nebraska.
What is your thoughts on this year's yields estimates?
So the yields here will be pretty good. I don't think we'll break any records. I think that's already been taken away from us, but we'll have average to above average yields. I would guess something above the APH. And then in Boone, we're planning a 78-day hybrid, so that is crazy early. It's bred for North Dakota. But in order to get it black layered by the middle of August so we can start dropping some points out of it and be ready to harvest September 1, 2, 3, that's what we need to plant. We've had drone flights over that, satellite shots on that, and it's projected at 208. So we'll take 208 for 78-day corn. That's pretty good dirt there in central Iowa. So that's performing about as well as you can ask for. And then in Grand Island, it's a little closer to normal. They plant about a 99-day corn for the field demos there, and that usually goes, on a good year, it'll go 230 for the field demo corn. So that's a real test for the combines in terms of throughput on the machines and running in good corn.
All right, Matt. I can't believe we were almost here on the farm progress in Boone. Could you tell our audience a little sneak peek of the farm progress show?
So everything is coming together really well. In this ag economy, to have exhibitors coming out like they are, we've filled the varied industries tent. That's 66 by 680 feet long, and then the second one is full, and now we're working on the third one. The third one is all new exhibitors to Farm Progress Show. Another thing we're really excited about is the agronomy zone. We've done a really good job for almost 75 years of giving manufacturers of combines and tillage companies a great opportunity to demo, and we haven't always done that for the input companies. So now we've hired a professional agronomist to care for plots. We got protocols and inputs from the companies that are participating and put them all in, and he's caring for them all summer long. And so a great demonstration. The Hefty brothers are a partner on that, and they're going to have a kind of a plot walk at 1 o'clock every day, walk up and talk about all the technologies that are actually physically growing there on the site. That's got new exhibitors to the show. Companies like Helena that haven't been with us before stepped in because we're doing that. We've got 14 companies participating, and half of them are new to.
About this farm economy for purchasing and new equipments or new product in the field. What
Yeah, I mean
opinion?
that is obviously a concern. With just generally with the economy, and the Farm Progress Show is kind of a gathering of the industry. It's the show place for row crop agriculture, and that fertilizer prices and geopolitical concerns are going to be a lot of the conversation that's happening there. Whether it's at the lunch, at the shade tent near the lunch stand or the ribeye shack, or whether it's on stage there in the hospitality tent with political leaders and industry leaders that are going to take the stage there. I'm sure that there will be a lot of conversation about that. In terms of what it's going to mean for farm gate prices of things, that one I'm not the guy to project that kind of stuff. You've got a lot of other smarter people on than me to talk about that. But I think that it's going to be something that's going to be talked about. And when it comes to equipment, like I said earlier, it's kind of we this is the 32nd year that I've had something to do with the Farm Progress Show, and you've seen these cycles come around, and on years like this, a lot of companies are focusing their conversations around parts or bolt-on technology or upgrading your planter, sprayer, combine, whatever it is, to utilize and take advantage of today's technology by bolting it on to the machines that you've already got.
Do you have some final thoughts on this growing season?
Um, no, I mean, like I said, I'm going to be curious to see how this fall goes, and if it turns into a real muddy mess, that could drag things out and make things a little bit painful. But I mean, I think everybody's been getting good heat units. I don't think we're going to have one of those years like 2017 when we're drying everything to get it done. I think we're gonna be able to pull into some dry corn. It's just more of a question of what's the weather like that day when we're pulling in. So I know everybody's getting kind of switching from finishing off the applications to switching over to getting ready for harvest right about now. And hope everybody stays safe and come and bring the team to Boone for one last little break. Get out and take a look at all the bright and shiny stuff before you dive into harvest for 6 to 8 weeks worth of time together.
Of course. Thanks, Matt. I can't believe we were almost here on the farm bill. This year been fast.
It's all happening fast. Yes. It's good to be with you though. Thank you very much, Caesar.
Thanks again.
You bet.
This
Thank you,
is
sir.
Matt Jungmann from Farm Progress for National Events on Back Roads of Illinois.